Hello everybody, my name is David and I'm here with Brilliant Labs to show you how to configure your Raspberry Pi. So I'm going to plug it in right now and you will see exactly what you would be seeing when it starts up normally. There you go, you got a nice little rainbow screen for a second, back to black, a couple of the raspberries in the top left corner. Quick loading screen, back to black. We're just waiting for the OS, the operating system that's already on the SD card there, called Raspian, to kind of configure. So now that that's all ready to go, we'll click next. You can select your different regions. Ways to go. There we are. And proceed to the next once we've selected our country, language, and time zone, which might all be different for you. This might all be for your different preference. Now, the default password is Raspberry, but I will be keeping that as the default password. You can change it to whatever you feel comfortable with. So there's a black border around the screen, as you can see here, probably about a centimeter or two. So we're gonna say, yeah. Now I do have an Ethernet connection currently, so I'm not too worried about wireless internet, though actually I might select that one just because it wants one. So now what this is doing is it is looking for the time zone that we selected and finding what time it is. I'm not sure if this will work because of the school board's Wi-Fi that we're currently using. It has certain firewalls and protections that don't allow programs such as the Raspberry Pi to connect to the servers that it would like to. It's not the end of the world if we skip this step, as we can set the time manually in the near future. There we are. It could not sync the time, so it is unable to check for updates. But now it is ready to go, and it will need to be restarted before any of these settings take effect. So we can press restart, and the Pi should restart over the course of a couple seconds. See that rainbow screen again, then the raspberries in the upper left corner. There. You won't necessarily be prompted to put in the password that you created. However, you can set it up to function that way within your settings. Now quickly, what you see here, this is the Raspian OS, spelled Raspbian, I believe. So this is your home button, the little raspberry here, and it brings down this menu of all these different categories you can choose from. So programming is where we would find stuff like Scratch and Sonic Pi, which we'll be using later. Programs that involve programming, education, educational tools, Office, basically similar to the Microsoft Office or Google Office suite, internet, etc., etc. Now, in help, you can find helpful databases to kind of get you through a roadblock if you encounter any issues. In accessories, you can see diagnostics or the stuff like Task Manager and Terminal, which you will be using somewhat often. Preferences is where you can further configure the Raspberry Pi, set it up to be more personal, change stuff like your desktop. In appearance settings, and then that's how you turn it off when you're done. And beyond that, one of the other common ways to turn it off is you would type in the command sudo halt, or alternatively you could type in sudo reboot to restart the Pi manually on your own. Over here you have the time and date, your audio device and options. The default will usually be HDMI. That means it will be transmitting sound through the HDMI cable to your monitor. Analog would be the 3.5mm jack that we saw earlier. That is just to the side of the HDMI ports. Then you've got your connection. So we see that Ethernet is configured. It is plugged in through Ethernet, and so is Wi-Fi. And then here's your Bluetooth options. You can add it as a device or make it discoverable, anything like that to get started. And you can left click and find your desktop preferences if you want to get to a similar settings menu to appearance settings, just through a different way. Alright, so have some fun with this and try configuring your Pi and personalizing it to your personal preferences.